Good morning and welcome to my live stream, Fight CPS with Bob Pace. I'm your host and I'm here to welcome you about your CPS matter. Now, we're going to get started in a few minutes as soon as people come in here. But I'm glad you found me. You found me on Facebook, Fighting CPS. I have 7 rooms that are connected to me from Facebook and one from YouTube. That's 8 rooms. And we're all connected in this application called SteamYard. SteamYard is the application I use that uses YouTube to broadcast my live stream worldwide. This is a worldwide live stream. Not only do people in the United States hear me, but around the world they do. Anybody that has internet can tune in about the CPS matters. Now, what I call CPS, it stands for the Child Protection System. It's a government entity in the United States that protects our children from neglect and abuse. And it was founded in Congress in 1962 that directed social services, social workers to protect our children from neglect or abuse, but also to help out with family reunification. The problem being is that over 2,700 people I've talked to over the last 23 months have something in common, including myself. We are involved in what's called a rogue CPS entity. It's an entity that is very corrupt, very, very corrupt. And it's really hard to identify whether this CPS entity is corrupt or whether it's not corrupt. Okay. Now, we now have people in the room, and we have Barkley. And good morning, Barkley, and happy Sunday to you. Barkley is a remarkable lady that I've met on the show. She's a regular. She's part of family here. She's from Montana, who has a son that she's trying to get back in her custody. She has arranged, since this is the start of the school year, she's homeschooling her son, which she's set up properly and so forth. And she really wants very much to take care of her son. But she's run into a problem where she had a relationship with this guy, and this guy turned out to be bad news. He's not the father of the son, but he's using her for her money, which is a shame. A lot of people do that. A lot of people and family members are just as corrupt about doing that. But anyway, she's come on the show to get advice and to get help. Now, I'm not an attorney. I'm a loving father and a husband. I have 43 years of marriage experience, and I've helped raise 6 children. And I have 2 groups of children. I have my older children and my younger children. The older ones are all in relationships with families and children. So I do have some grandchildren, but we all seem to be distant. Then my younger family. Of my 3 youngest, one is a girl that decided to divorce her parents in a long time ago, as part of retaliation by a social worker. And as I recollect, it was back in December of 2017. And I think it was finalized in July of 2018. But I have a new incident with not with CPS, but with social services. And so I don't quite understand why the involvement is going there. It's been almost 9 years that the time period they're talking, 8 or 9 years, the time period that they're talking about. Um, anyway, um, so we're here to talk about child protection, of how you can get your children back, how you can prevent them taking your children if they haven't done so, and then about the different kinds of actions that you're going through. Bartley is going through a lot. She's has some questions. She has a court case coming up in October about having her son being returned. She does have visitations, which is nice. So she's able to see her son from time to time. Now, some housekeeping. We basically have several ways that you can interact with this live stream. One is to text a message, and the message should be a question or a comment about CPS. If you wanted to tell a story about your case or had a question about your case, but it should pertain to CPS. We're not here to talk about politics. It's hard not to because I know politics are a part of everybody's life every day, especially the way the world is changing all the time. It's a very complex world. Um, I don't know if I'm better off today than I was maybe 60 years ago. Life has been sort of a train ride to me. I think we're all on train rides in life. I can relate that because I look at a train, you're going from a destination to a destination. And we're riding on two rails, metal rails, and we're connected to rails by wooden ties. It all to me represents what life is about. I consider life as a circle. We start out young and helpless, we end up young and helpless. And we do not know how big our circle of life is. Well, I say that when you're riding this train, you're riding, your left rail is your circle of life. The other rail is your rail that you're going to lead you up to heaven. Everybody wants to go to heaven. Everybody believes in God, but not everybody does. That's the hard thing about it. People have different gods too. People have different gods and worship different things, and that's what's so nice about this world. God gave man and woman a chance to do whatever they want to do. You have free will. And I know it must be hard for the creator to sit and watch the world go through so much turmoil, so much turmoil. It is so bad that we have to go through. And the children of the world need to be protected because they're young, they're innocent. They start out in this world as young and innocent. That's part of the circle of life. And the ties between the two trails bound the rails together strong. And each tie represents a good deed. And I talk about good deeds. You should try to do a good deed every day. That's not going to get you to heaven, but it's going to make you a better person, feel better. If you try to help one another and help each other. A lot of us do different things. And we're here in this room to understand why our children are being taken and why I have to go through what I go through. And there's 5 rules that I've come up with that will help you hang on to your children, not lose your children. Now, this government entity, was an act of Congress in 62 that mandated that social services would protect our children from neglect and abuse and also do what's called family reunification. Now, family reunification deals with a plan that you developed with that government entity to get your family back together. Now, a lot of times the family is interrupted because they take the children because the children are in danger. But not all the time. A lot of time, children are taken when they're not in danger. They're trafficked into foster care. Trafficking is illegal, and what they do with CPS is illegal. The first emphasis and the first importance should be the family unit. Studies have shown over and over again that the best parents to raise the children are the biological parents, the mother and the father. So if there's a hiccup in the family, it should be addressed and resolved. It's not the end of the world. Things can be changed, things can be fixed. But there's entities out there that, for greed or for money purposes, don't want to fix it. They want to take your child because they get money. Now, once a child is in their system, once you're brought into their system, they start receiving money from the county. Every state has a county that has a CPS system. They have different names: Department of Children's Services, Department of Family and Children's Services, the Child Protection Services, the Cabinet. I could go on and on. I just make it simple. I just call it CPS, which stands for the Child Protection System. Every county and every state is a system. The problem being is a lot of these systems are gone bad and they will take your child whether they're in danger or not because they want to get the money going. They also think they have the right to come in your home. And we got to be careful about that. We don't want to allow them in our home. Don't have to. You got to think of your home as your castle and your front door or your doors as the drawbridge. It's up. When your door is closed, it's up to you and the home to allow who wants to come in. There's only three ways that they can come in. And when I'm saying they, it's usually the social workers from social services, the child protection system, and then they'll have escort with them as the local police. The reason why the police are involved is that they have the right for protection. Social workers hate to go out to homes and neighborhoods where there's a chance that their personal safety is at risk. So that's what a police officer does. But the problem being is a social worker use them for more than that. They use them for intimidation and to enforce their rules or their saying about, the children and stuff. So once you open a door, they come in and then they're not supposed to search, but you do search. They're looking for whether your home is cluttered or dirty, whether there's danger for the kids or whatnot. And you may have recently moved, or maybe your refrigerator went bad and the food is spoiled and you have your sink full of dirty. It's always the wrong time to do a house inspection. A house inspection should be when you're ready to have strangers in your home. Yes, the police and social workers are strangers. The rule that's been taught from the very beginning in your early childhood years: don't talk to strangers. Don't let strangers in your home. You're taught that at an early age. It's one of the life skills that you're taught. And you should follow that advice even today as a grown adult because you don't know these people. And you have every right, your constitutional right and civil rights, not to let the people in. Not let the people in. You don't have to talk to them and you don't have to give them your children. There's only three ways they can come into your home. One, you invite them in, or another family member does, somebody in the house does. Two, the child is at risk. There's screaming going on, a child's being hurt physically, and there's some harm coming to and the safety of the child, they're going to come in. They're going to come in. They have a right to. So if they hear noises and yelling and they look through a window and see something, they're going to come in. And thirdly, they can come in if they have a warrant. It's a legal document that they went to a judge in court, and ask for permission to do what they want to do. I want to talk to so and so. I want to take their children because they're in danger, so and so. So they get this court document, but it's so important you look at this court document. It's got to be signed. It's got to have a date that is when they are working. Judges only work on work days. They don't work on the weekends and they don't work on holidays during the work week. So it's got to have the proper date. It's got to have addressed to whoever the person is charged with. Their name's got to be on there. There's got to be the names of the children that are being abused or neglected. And they got to tell you what action they can do. On such and such a date, they can come in and talk to the parents, or they can take the child, or whatever the case would be. So they have this warrant. And it's got to be signed by the judge and stamped. Their signature's got to be embraced and raised so that they know it's legit. So that's why I tell you, very important with a warrant. It's got to be that way. But they end up taking your child when they're not supposed to, and they end up um, searching your home. You know, when you're not maybe ready to be searched, it's one of those things. So long as you don't answer the door, you don't make any sounds, you're quiet, and you don't see the warrant or the warrant isn't legit, you don't have to talk to them. That's one way they can escape because your civil rights and constitutional rights that a lawyer must be present if you have any legal matter through all phases. Now, you may encounter these people out in the yard or out in the neighborhood. If you do encounter them and they talk to you, be nice to them, but ask them, does this involve a legal matter? If it does, then you have the right to sit there and say, I cannot talk to you till I have my attorney present. I'm going to get a hold of my attorney and they'll get back to you. Please give me your number and a way and your name to how I can contact you. And that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. And um, huh. Now, we got some other people here. I want to say good morning to them. We have one. Um, Good morning to Sir Siri. I guess it's called CER. Where are you located, and what is your question? What is your question or comment? Hello, Caddy. Welcome. Good morning, Mr. Bob, she says. I watch you live every day. I live in North Carolina. Some of your information has been very beneficial. Well, thank you, Katie. Um, I also have Dorothy Cook from North Carolina, too, and Bruce and several other people. I have lots of people from North Carolina. Have you ever heard of the de facto parent? No, I had never heard of that. I can look that up, though. De facto parent. De facto parent. Okay, a de facto parent is someone who's not the biological or adopted parent of the child, but has consistently acted as the parent, fulfilling the child's physical and psychological needs for a substantial period with the natural parent's consent. The court recognizes the status of significant parental bonding and care provided by individuals such as step parents or long term partners who have taken on a child's day to day care. Seeking the status is often done to gain legal rights to the child, such as visitation or custody, to continue supporting the child's best interests. So now we know what a de facto parent is. So now I've heard of it, and thank you. All right, so you're the de facto parent. Well, that's good to know. And it's nice that you care about a child, Katie. It's really nice. Bartley, thank you, Bob, for everything you share with us. It's appreciated. Well, thank you, Bartley. I appreciate that. Now, besides texting a message to me, you can also make sure that you also include your location. It's important. And whether you, now, if you're outside the United States, then it's nice to put the country. You don't have to put the country if you're in the United States. You just put the county or the city and the state. And if you're outside the United States, and there's right now 24 countries I have, including the United States. I just have a new country. I have Iran that just called in the other day. Now, the countries so far that have participated in this live stream have been in Indonesia, Bangladesh, India, then up to the Middle East, to Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Libya, then over to the continent of Africa. There has been Liberia, Sudan, Republic of Congo, and Rwanda, and in Mozambique, and then the provinces of South Africa. Then up to Europe have been the United Kingdom, England, Scotland, and Wales, and then Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, they have Canada and its provinces. And then the United States, and fortunately, I've spoken to all 50 states, including Washington, D.C. Then south of the border has been Mexico, and then in South America, north of Brazil, on the East Coast has been Grenada. And then in the South Pacific, we have New Zealand, the land down under Australia. So that what makes up the 24 countries. And I've had over 2,700 people call in or text in. And they all have that thing in common. They're fighting CPS, and it's a corrupt CPS that they're fighting. Now, another way that you can um, interact is to be a guest on my live stream. Please email me at bobp@vincentwdavis.com with the day and time you want to be on one of my 14 shows. Now, I'm on every morning. During the weekdays, it's at 10 a.m. And on the weekend, it's 8 a.m. Then I'm on every night, 7 days a week at 7 p.m. And I've been doing this regularly for 23 months. Next month will be 2 years. And that's a long time. That's a lot of months, a lot of times that I've done that and so forth. Um, I'm thinking right now, as I say, is that we have all these nice people. Here we have someone new named Katie, who I think you're from North Carolina. You told me I think you're from North Carolina. Um, and we have Siri, Sear, and we have Bartley. So we have Montana in here represented by Bartley. And we have um, somebody named Name. That's original. Hello, Name, and welcome to the room. All I need is a location name. And he says, "Good day, Mr. Pace." And that's good day to you, Name. And Siri, you two, I need to know where you're at. Katie says they're from North Carolina. And I have lots of people from North Carolina. And she was talking about the de facto parent. And she is the de facto parent. No, you're not bragging. Um, I'm involved in a CPS case, and they're trying to ignore me other than accepting me of the child's abuse, accuse me of child's abuse. So Katie has been accused of abusing the child that she's taking care of. And I know that's hard. I know that's hard. That you're being wrongfully accused. And Bartley has the same problem from Montana, Katie from North Carolina. And then I have Name and Siri, who I do not know where they're from. But anyway, I'm glad you're in the room. Now, um, let me see. I'm looking at our time right now. Uh, Um, so what are you being accused of, Katie? What are you being accused of? Is it neglect, abuse, or both of them? And I know that it's really, really hard for what you're going through. Even to rehash this out, it's hard for me because I thought I was pretty much done fighting with CPS, but instead they've opened up another claim that that I'm trying to understand. I really don't understand what social securities has sent me, so I'm trying to digest it and try to figure it out. But I come on here twice a day to help you go through a terrible, terrible injustice to the family. And it's sad because you have to think of this fighting CPS is just like open heart surgery. If you're going to do open heart surgery, you need a professional. You cannot have a plumber open up your chest. You can't have a cook open your chest. Same thing goes true for the child protection system. You need a lawyer to help you go through the system. And that is one of the hardest things to do is to come up with a lawyer because it involves money. And most of us, another thing we have in common of the 2,700 people, we're all low income. We're all low income, meaning we don't have money for an attorney. But you need one because it is a very corrupt system. And I speak from experience and from the mouths of 2,700 people. A lawyer in CPS is like a doctor in open heart surgery. They need to be trained, these lawyers need to be trained in the areas of um, juvenile law, family law, and dependency law. That's the areas of law that you're involved in. Now, I'm not talking about the criminal matter, that's a whole separate entity. You can be accused criminally, and there will be a detective that investigates the situation and then puts a report to the district attorney. And the district attorney can make a decision whether or not he should charge you criminally with either a misdemeanor or a felony of child abuse or child neglect. It's almost like a double dip thing. CPS is frustrated and not listening to what you are saying, and you're ignoring them because you have a right to, especially if you're not guilty. Because the more you talk to them, the more you let them in your home, the more you let them have your children, the more damage is done. They say that children should never be taken unless they're in danger. Now, danger means harm is coming to them. So if there's physical harm, they need to take the children. If a child is being hit or hurt physically, they need to be taken. If they're being neglected, not fed or clothed or left alone or locked up in a room or neglected, they need to be taken. But now, the typical MO of a social worker who works for the child protection system comes knocking at your door. They bring the police in tow to intimidate you, and the police are led to believe they have to enforce these ridiculous things that are going on. And it's sad. They want to do it rushing. They want to get your child because they want that money. It's $1 trillion business. Billions of dollars is sent to the state, and from the state, millions of dollars is sent to the county. That's how the money is transferred. In fact, there's a case in Richmond, Kentucky, that's being social workers are being investigated. And they found out that one social worker for CPS has embezzled $400,000. They're now trying to determine where the other $600,000 went to. And that's an isolated case, but there's cases like that all across the country. There's corruption all across the country, the country. And okay. Um, Katie further says from North Carolina, I have a pending charge of a misdemeanor child abuse. So you have criminally been charged as well as social. Um, the Child Protection Agency has also charged you. I was arrested for it without the caseworker talk to me, and he said that I'm non-compliant. Well, when you say he, are you talking about the police? Were you arrested by the police? In order for arrest to take place, you have to be formally charged. And if you are arrested, you have to be read your rights and your right to seek an attorney. You also have a right to remain silent. And so, this child abuse, what are they abusing and what did you do or alleged you did to the child? And we're talking about one child or two children or three children. Your rights were not read. Was this a local police officer in North Carolina? Or was this the sheriff in North Carolina? Or was this the state police in North Carolina? Those are your law enforcement. You also have ICE, which is something new right now for immigration. They're kind of like ICE is the federal police. So you have ICE, you have the state police, you have the sheriff, and you have the local police. So what entity arrested you and what were you charged? What was the charge you're doing to them? And your rights should have been read, and you should be allowed a phone call. Now, most times CPS comes out, they investigate if you allow them in to your home, and they will respond with some paperwork, or they may find it necessary to take your children because the children are in danger. But a lot of times the children are not in danger. Being in school is not in being in danger. Being in school is not being in danger. So I do want to help you out there. Um, it is a horrible thing that you're going through. Now we have about 20 minutes left of my show time. I know it's getting close to 9 o'clock, but the show started a little after 8 o'clock this morning. So we're going to probably go a little bit after 9 because I do have to get ready to go to church. And I have to leave here no later than 10 o'clock. I have to leave here at 10 o'clock. I think church is important, as I told you about that train of life that you're trained to heaven. You need to pray. God is very important to you in your life. God is the creator of all of us. And God came down to the world as Jesus Christ and walk among us humans. He did that so he can assimilate into society and try to help. He felt it was necessary to come among his people. But God also has created a world of free reign, meaning that he allows things to happen. And the devil has taken possession of a lot of terrible things that are happening right now. And our children are being abused. They are being neglected. There are stories. There was a mother in Ohio that decided to take a vacation and leave her little 14-month-old child in one of those little, what do you call it, baby seats where they have a little play table, and they're left in the seat. And she was gone for a week, and the child went through all kinds of suffering. The child didn't have any food for a week, had no change of diaper for a week. It saw nobody. It sat there and slowly died in that seat, helpless, helpless because the mother didn't think, or I don't know what her mind was. She was found guilty and she was sent to prison. But that's not going to bring the young child back. The message is that family members should check on the children all the time. If a single parent is taking care of a child, they should have another parent looking in on the child too. That's why there's a mother and a father. See, God was really smart. He created a man and woman to create children. So that means the man and woman will raise a child. It's very important that the father and the mother are involved, but a lot of times the father isn't. There's so many absentee fathers that get a woman impregnated and then disappear on them and don't care about them. They don't help out with the food, the basic things, shelter, food, and clothing. So, with that being said, it is hard. It is hard what you're going through. Now, you say that the police arrested you solely on what the CPS worker told them to. No investigation was done. I've never heard of such a thing. That area, and when you say police, are you talking about the local police? What a police arrested you? And what was the arrest that they told on you? And did you get taken into jail? Did you have to post a bond? You do have to go, Katie, and I'm sorry you have to. You have another obligation. Thank you for your concerns. I'll pray for you, Katie. And I want you to know, please come back at 7 o'clock tonight, my time, that's Pacific Standard Time. I'd love to talk to you further. God bless you, Katie. And I want to hear more about your case. Your case sounds really terrible and really horrible. And I'll try to help you get through your case there, Katie. God bless you. Katie has to leave, but she, along with um, the other people in the room, we have the people name, the name. And I said, welcome name, but I don't hear where they're from name. Um, uh, it's important that you tell me how I can help you. Also, Siri Senior, Siri, I want to help you too. And it is a good morning. And I'm glad um, you're cooking. Cooking is a wonderful skill. And what has happened to your child? And of course, we have Bartley here who listens and helps. She is so good at helping in this room. And that was nice, Bartley, saying that Katie, take care of Katie. Well, we've had a new person from North Carolina, and that's good. We have Bartley, who's been in here since May, I think it is. She's been here a long time. May, June, July, August, September. She's been here for 5 months, Bartley has. And there's things that I have told her that have helped her. Mm. Oh. Oh boy. Um, I'm going to go give you guys a full hour of my show here. So I know it's a little after 9 o'clock, but I want to make sure you get a full hour in there. Now, today is the 28th of September of 2025. It's a Saturday. Next week, we're going to be going into October. Oh boy. If you hear some background noise, I do apologize. I'm doing this live from my home, and I usually have this window opportunity to do it privately, but it's okay. It's okay. Um, Good morning, Nonomi Flores, and I want to welcome you. Top of the morning to you, Nonomi, and thank you. I appreciate it. Nonomi Flores, where are you located? What part of the world are you from? If you're in the United States, all I need to know is your city or county and your state. If you're elsewhere in the world, could you please share your country? And again, I want to help you. So all you have to do is ask me, and I will help you. I'm here to take care of you guys and help you through this dreaded mess of the child protection system. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I got to get the show done so that I go to church. I'm leaving here at 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning. Uh, Now, Naomi further says, and I have no idea where she's from, but hopefully she'll help us. Both of her kids were taken from my custody. Would CPS give each child to the pertaining father, or would CPS rather keep the kids together? Both kids are from different fathers. Well, typically the CPS involves both parents. So if there's two different fathers and you're the single mother, there'll be three adults that'll be involved with this case. They usually develop a plan where you list family members. Now, if the father was not accused of a wrongdoing with taking care of the children, then the kids could be placed in custody with the father. Now, I don't know if you're married to either man or were married to either man or just had it. You're from San Diego, California. Thank you, Naomi, for telling me where you're from. Um, so, if both fathers um, were not involved, were not accused, then they could be placed one with each father, depending on who the child is the father with. But they have to be approved. I don't know what you were taken. What did you abuse or neglect a child? What was the case? A little bit more about that, if you could. Now I'm confused. You asked me, first of all, would they be with the fathers? Now you say you have a kid or with a foster mom instead of being with relatives. Why is that? Typically, they always put a list that you provide them. Right away, within a couple days of them taking your child, you should have prepared them a list of names, and they need to investigate the names, and they can be out of state. They don't like that because there's more money involved, but they can be out of state. And thank you, Bartley, for the words, those words there, because I am here because I want to help all of you. I want to. By me doing this every day, it means I'm satisfied doing a good turn. At least I'm helping out with society. There are a lot of bad people in this world right now. I think the person that they call Putin, the KGB agent Putin, is a bad person. He wants to restore Russia to the old Soviet Union, and he wants to get back of all the countries that broke away for freedom. At one time, Russia was leading down the path to democracy. When that wall came down, it was leading to democracy. Now our children are being rounded up and made into Russian soldiers to fight. It's so bad what they're doing to the children in Russia and Ukraine by kidnapping them, millions of children. Now, they could be with the fathers, but I don't know if the fathers were charged with anything. You haven't really tell me how the whole case started from the knock on the door. You basically say that you were arrested with a misdemeanor. So that must have been pretty serious when they made that arrest. Oh, wait, that was Katie that had the arrest with the misdemeanor. I apologize. I apologize, Nomi Flores from San Diego, California. Um, it's involved with CPS. I don't think the police are involved in your case. I don't think they are. The social workers took the kids and placed them in foster care immediately instead of placing them with relatives. Well, at first, they can place the kids into what they call a shelter. It's a temporary place where they can put kids. It's a shelter. But then they make a transition to relatives when you have a team meeting. You're supposed to have a meeting with CPS to talk about the placement of your children. That's all part of that. A lot of parents don't realize that. Now, you're saying it was biased because they didn't want the kids with the paternal grandparents. Both kids were taking about a month of investigation. Well, during that month time, what happened? And again, what were you accused of? What are the details of your accusations? Naomi from San Diego says, she made me sign, I guess you mean a social worker, where I would stay away from the father and get a restraining order. I came back to the father's home after a month. CPS found out and they took the kids 3 days later. Well, first of all, they didn't want you with the father because maybe there's something going on with you and the father. A restraining order means to keep the father away from you. And maybe there's some arguments taking place. I'm only guessing because you haven't told me in detail what the neglect or the abuse is. And I don't know if this is the second father or the first father. You said there's two different fathers involved. It was from domestic violence call, and from that call to the sheriff's led to CPS open investigation, making a plan to stay away from the father. So you must have had an argument taking place, and that's why the kids were taken, because if you and the father are not getting along and arguing in front of the kids, one of you's got to go. One of you's got to go out of the home. And typically it's the man, it's not the woman. They put all the emphasis on the woman taking care of the children. But a lot of times women do not take care of the children. The man does. They're bad. Not all men um, are bad. There's a lot of times domestic violence, there's jealousy. And I'm sorry that came to you, Naomi, in San Diego. Now, this looks like this is going to take me a little bit longer time to investigate this. Um, and I'm going to have to talk to you later because I need to go. I'm already running time late for my show. So I'm going to be on again. And thank you, Dorothy, for the thumbs up. Dorothy is listening to me. Dorothy, there's a lady in here from North Carolina named Katie, and she had to go, but she had a horrible case in North Carolina. And she's not the biological parent, but she was taking care of them. And she brought up a term I've not seen before. She is a de facto parent, meaning that she's the one that's been taking care of the kids, but she actually has a criminal charge against her, a misdemeanor child abuse charge. I don't know the details because she hasn't told me the details there. But she's involved. They call their CPS in North Carolina Department of Social Services. And we have Noah Nomi from San Diego that has two children by two different men that she's not married to. And I think the latest man, she had domestic violence, and that's why the kids were taken. And she violated agreement to not stay away from the man. And so don't be late to church. I won't be, Naomi. But thank you very much. I want to thank Naomi from San Diego for calling in today. It was a pleasure meeting you. I hope you can come back tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bartley from Montana, you're beautiful, and I hope you come back again. I love talking to you in Heavy Room, and thank you so much for taking. Katie had to leave early. She had another obligation, but I hope she comes back. She's from North Carolina. And we have Dorothy Cook in the room because I got an emoji from her. Thank you, Dorothy Cook. She's also from North Carolina. And I have two other people. I don't know where they're from. One is called Name, and they didn't say very much. I'd love for you to come back and talk to me. The other one is Sir, SCER, Sir. I don't know where you're from either. But thank you all for coming into my live stream today. Remember, don't give up. Keep fighting and come back here and I will help you. If it takes 3 or 4 shows, I will help you. All you have to do is listen and we can talk about it and help you. And this goes true for all my family members around the world too. I have 24 countries listening in, and it's really great to hear from you. And so there'll be a brief video at the end of my live stream. So please listen to my live stream and listen to the short video. And I'll see you again tonight at 7 p.m. It's Sunday at 7 p.m. tonight. And we can talk further about your CPS case. God bless you. And thank you for listening. This is Bob Pace signing off.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the
last ones left. Put your faith in